In the land of Obodo, yam barns were fat and generous, and drums spoke secrets to the night. But wealth cannot teach the proud, and comfort seldom humbles the careless. In the big house at the top of the hill lived a king with one son, the Prince of Obodo, a boy praised from crawling to striding. Praise followed him like shadow. Fear walked beside him like a guard. He wore pride the way tortoise wears shell, always on his back. The elders shook their heads. He who mocks the weak will one day crawl. Did he listen? Who can tell a stone to drink water? One day the prince chased an antelope beyond the paths of men, into the sacred grove of vultures, a place where trees bend like old, women and bones sleep without names. He laughed. So this is the home of weak birds? What can scare me here? And with a careless foot, crunch, he crushed a vulture's nest. From shadow she rose, the vulture witch, wings like palm fronds, eyes red as charcoal fire. Son of Obodo, you trampled my children and mocked the sacred. Pride has eaten your soul. Hear the sentence of the night. By day wear your crown. By moonrise twist into a vulture. Only when humility rules your heart will the beak fall from your face. That night, the moon climbed like a white drum, and the prince's flesh betrayed him. Feathers sprouted, arms shattered into wings. His cry crossed the hills, and the people whispered, "The gods have shamed the house of our king." The king called his elders, his chiefs, his medicine men. They brought cola and cowries and words, but no cure. At last came the chief priest, beard like a goat's tail, eyes too sharp to trust. In his heart lived hunger bigger than famine. He loved power more than he feared gods. Hope can make even a wise man run into rain without umbrella. The king struck the floor. So shall it be. 9 virgins will fetch the egg. Town crier, chanting. Ho, people of Obodo! By decree of the king, 9 maidens shall enter the evil forest to bring the vulture's egg. Mothers hid daughters. Fathers begged ancestors. But the people did not know. The priest had lied. That egg is not medicine. In greedy hands, it bends men like dry grass in Harmattan. In that season lived Akweki, daughter of Mbaonu, a hunter whose arrow once spoke without missing. Death called him home. Poverty entered his gate. Akweki hunted to feed her mother and 2 small brothers, sold bush meat, carried firewood, fought hunger with courage. When they called her name among the 9, her mother fell like a banana leaf in wind. The boys clung to her waist. Sister, don't go! Who will hunt? Who will feed us if you die? Akawayaki, kneeling steady. By our father's spirit I will return. Our blood does not run from hard roads. They shaved the 9, bathed them in chalk and prayers, placed white wrappers, and the forest opened its mouth. 9 maidens, 9 breaths. The forest listened. The eldest whispered, "May the gods guide our steps." Akweki kissed the red earth and rose first. If we must die, let it be with courage. If we must live, let it be with honor. The maidens walked into a path where they find trees whispering. Trees, one thunderous voice. What feeds the roots of life? One maiden with panic in her voice screamed, "Water!" But the ground split, whip roots seized. Her ankles and pulled, her screaming into the earth. Fear gripped the rest of the maidens. The trees thundered again. What feeds the roots of life? Another maiden with fear in her voice shouted, "The soil!" Again, lash, she was swallowed whole. 7 remained. Akwek, with fear in her eyes, stepped forward with hand on her chest, breathing. Life is fed by what we give. Sacrifice is the water of roots. The trees nodded and pointed them to the path where they must follow. They arrived at the next stage of their journey. Little painted spirits tumble in. Baskets of fruit, glittering cloth, gourds of wine, giggles, bells, high-pitched songs. Tricksters. Come, sisters. Eat with us. Drink small, rest small. The road is long. They spread mats. Roasted meat smoked. Bananas gleamed. Bracelets flashed like fish scales in sun. The first maiden walked up. Tired and hungry, she grabbed some fruits from the basket and ate. The fruit turned into a human face. She threw it on the ground, screaming. She started choking on her own screams till she dropped to the ground, lifeless. The rest of the maidens grabbed each other in fear, shaking. Another maiden slipped out, picked up the bottle of water, and said, "I can't take it any longer." I am so thirsty as she wanted to drink it. Akweke slapped it from her hand. The wine spilled to earth and burned like acid. Akweke, firm low. My father said, "What shines too quickly hides teeth." Pour their gifts away. They emptied the gourds on the ground. They threw the beads into the fire. The illusions rotted into maggots. Cloths crumbled into cobwebs. The tricksters hissed and scattered like sparks in rain. 6 maidens walked on, Akweke and 5 others, hearts pounding but wiser. They reached their next destination, the River of the Dead. A river like black glass. Canoes drift without oars. Pale ferryman appears. Water that sounds like whispering names. Ferryman, voice like cold clay. Before you cross, I must warn you, the danger ahead is as mighty as when the wind blows in the sea. You can choose to go back safely now with the gifts of golds. I bear you or move forward and meet your end. The maidens looked at themselves in confusion and fear. One maiden spoke out with her voice shaking. Please, I want to go back. I don't want to die. I want to go back to my family. Very well then, Ferryman spoke softly. Pick 1 pot of gold and head home. Then 2 other maidens stepped forward too. We want to go back too. We cannot continue on this journey of doom. Ferryman smiled, pointed at the pot of golds, and said, pick 1 pot each and head home. Akweke and the remaining 2 maidens looked at each other determined. They told the ferryman, we want to continue our journey no matter how dangerous it is. We must continue. He smiled and led them to the canoe. As they move forward, they hear screams coming from behind them. Screams of the other maidens who chose to go back home. The ferryman smiled and said, when you start a journey, you must finish it no matter how dangerous it may seem, because going back is as dangerous as going forward. They arrived at their next destination, the land of the deceptive serpent. Clearing with bones, a colossal bronze-scaled serpent coiled. Eyes like hot coals, slow hiss, dry leaves. Serpent, sweet as honey. Daughters of men, you have suffered enough. Why walk further? And look into my eyes and receive what you desire. The first sister gazed and saw her dead father alive, arms open. She stepped forward as if into a warm room. Akweke shouting, do not trust it. What is given without price will cost your soul. She grabbed her sister's wrist and pulled her back. The vision shattered. The serpent's eyes flashed with annoyance. Serpent, closer. You, second daughter, are you not hungry for rest? A husband? Children to call you mother? Lay your head. I will keep your dreams safe. The second sister's knees weakened. She swayed like a palm in storm. Akweke wrapped her arms around her and held her until the shaking passed. Serpent to Akweke, tender and dangerous, brave one. Don't you wish for your father's return? For wealth like a river? For your little brothers' bellies to never be empty? Give me your bow, and I will make it so. Temptation bit like sugar cane. Akwaika's throat tightened. For a heartbeat she saw plenty, laughter, ease. Then she remembered, the forest never gives without taking more. Earthquake, spitting on the ground. My fear I can swallow, but I will not drink your lies. Serpent, I name you deceiver, a sharp hiss. The earth pulses. Illusions collapse. The serpent lowered its head. Defeated by truth named aloud, the path opened like a wound. Then like a doorway, 3 maidens, the same 3, walked into a clearing of ghost light and thorns. They arrived at the witch's nest, a towering nest woven of black thorns and bones, at its heart a pulsing egg, glowing like a living heart. Low hum, wings scritching. Above the nest perched the vulture. Witch herself, feathers blacker. Then midnight rain, eyes the color of warning. Daughters of men, you have come for the egg, believing it will free your prince. Hear truth, I did not chain him, his pride did. This egg is not medicine. It is power, and power is a calabash that spills fire if the hand is greedy. Witch, talons outstretched. Only the tongue that speaks truth may command it. Answer me, riddle, whispered by trees. River serpent win together. What devours kingdoms yet is never full. What breaks kings yet cannot be broken. What buries love yet cannot be buried. First maiden eager, trembling. Hunger, hunger eats kingdoms, breaks kings, buries love. The ground beneath her hardened. Her skin grayed. Her mouth locked in a silent cry. In a heartbeat she became a stone egg, cold and heavy. 2 remained, Akwak and 1 witness. Akweki thought of chiefs who chewed the poor like cola, of a priest whose eyes were knives, of a prince trembling under a feathered curse. She lifted her head. Greed. Greed devours kingdoms and never says enough. Greed breaks kings until they are less than men. Greed buries love, and it rises again in the hearts of the living. Wind rush, the nest glows, feathers spiral. Witch, soft approving, you have dared to name the true enemy. The egg is yours. She lowers the glowing egg into Akweki's hands. Power surges like lightning, deep hum through the chest. Witch, stern, guard it. Fire burns master and slave the same. If greed touches this egg, it will consume its bearer, and through them, the people. The witch looked at the other maiden and said, this one is mine. I will care for her like one of my vultures. 'Cause only a singular soul is allowed of. From the land of the dead. Akweke, no, I cannot leave my sister in a place like this. She must return home with me and be with her family. The maiden, Olaido, don't not worry about me. Akweka, for I have found my place here. After all, my parents are dead and my wicked uncle maltreats me. Go well, my sister, and save our people. The 2 maidens shared a hug before Akweki took the egg and headed home. When the sun leaned low, Akweki stepped from the forest, alone in number but multiplied in courage. The first child saw her and screamed her name. Drums answered. Women flung wrappers into sky. Men poured palm wine to thank the soil that did not swallow their daughter. King, tearful, embracing. Your father's spirit is dancing. You have done what warriors could not do. But see, greed does not clap for others. The priest came forward, white robe floating like bad cloud. Staff glinting, eyes hot as covered coals. Priest, sweet. Well done, child. Give me the egg, that I may cure the prince. Akweki's hands tightened. The witch's words beat in her ear. If greed touches it, it will destroy its bearer. The crowd pressed. Give him the egg! Let the prince be healed. Wind picks up. Sky darkens. Distant wing beat. The clouds gathered like old women gossiping. A scream split the sky. The vulture witch descended, feather storm around her. Witch thundering. Blind people! Your priest desires power, not healing. The prince's curse is his own to break by humility. If greed holds this egg, your village will taste ashes. The crowd fell like harvested millet. The king trembled. But the priest, greed makes even a lizard, think he is a crocodile, leapt forward, and snatched the egg from Aquaki. Priest, mad laughter. At last I am master of Obodo. No king, no god, no spirit will command me again. The egg blazes, whum, 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 white light. Villagers shield eyes. The laughter cracked into a scream. His flesh split like old calabash in sun. Skin hardened. Eyes bulged. Fingers stiffened. Before all people he turned to stone, mouth wide with a fear that never ends. The stone thuds as it roots itself in the square. The egg leapt, no longer in his hands, dissolving, like smoke into Akweki's chest. She fell to her knees, breath shaking, and rose with a new weight. Keeper of the egg's spirit, witch, now gentle. Let this be your lesson, Obodo. Greed is the enemy. Watch your hearts. From that day, Akweki was no queen, no priestess, but keeper of balance. Her words carried weight without shouting. People brought quarrels to her mat and left with peace in their hands. The prince, ashamed, approaching with head bowed. And the prince? His healing did not come from magic, but from work. Each sunset he still felt feathers stirring. But each dawn he hunted pride the way hunters chase bushfowl. The prince fetching water, kneeling to elders, repairing a tired farmer's roof, serving food in the square, playing with children. Humble rhythms, soft laughter. He carried water for widows. He ate last at feasts. He bent to greet children eye to eye. With every small humility, the curse loosened its claws. One night the moon rose and nothing twisted, no feathers, no beak, only a man learning to be human. The king, humbled by what eyes had seen, decreed, Obodo will never again bow to anyone who hides greed behind the mask of gods. In the center of town stands the stone statue of the priest. Children circle it, playing. In the square, the statue remained, mouth open, heart closed. Mothers pointed to it and said, Witch? Forest? River? Serpent? These are nothing compared to the black hole in a greedy heart. Hey, amazing people! If you love this story, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our adventures. Like, comment, and share with your friends for more amazing stories. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.